Hey, uh, today I've got a bit of a challenge. I'm not sure just how much I want to get into this. We have a problem with moose. We changed the rad a while back. It's on all our channels. And we put in a nice aluminum rad. The heat goes into it beautifully. The fans blasted out of it. But when I first put it in, it was summer, got pretty hot. And when I leaned against the fender, I damn near burnt myself. It was that hot. The hood was hot, the fenders were hot, the firewall was hot, because it's just dumping all the hot air back on the motor and pushing it straight at the firewall. And as much as my motor's down and all this kind of neat stuff, it just didn't seem to dissipate the air properly. So, quick response. I just put the original fan back onto the motor. No shroud, no nothing, just put it on and let it throw the air everywhere, which dissipates it kind of out and around. It worked, got the fenders cooler. Only problem is, if any of you at all out there have ever dealt with a fan that is attached to a motor without a clutch, you know that is a finger cutting, meat shredding device. I have actually bounced a screwdriver off of it trying to fix something when it was running. Not good, not safe. So, what do we do? Well, we came up with an idea, and this is what I'm looking at doing and hopefully fixing the problem. Now, we're still in the midst of about 20 other different projects with Moose at the moment, so please bear with the fact that there's stuff everywhere. And I'm also still my little garage. Hang on a second here. Hook that back up, because like I say, I'm in the midst of things. I have the batteries off. But there you go. Now you can see it better. So, there we go. That's our V8 mix master. You put anything through that, it ain't gonna come out in one piece. At least there's nowhere for a cat to hide. But still, yeah, not good. Not good. So, my idea was these. Just go with some nice little vents. Now, trying to find ones that actually are vents is actually harder than you can imagine. One, I've got limited space because of the style of the hood, and unless I just put something on top. And two, you actually have to get ones that are vents. Most of them are raised higher and are just fake. These are actually vents. And yes, they came from Temu. So they've got tape on them, but we're actually looking at bolting them down or riveting them down somehow. I don't know if I want to use rivets, because by the time the rivet breaks, it could break the plastic. So I might go with some type of a screw or bolt, something that sits in nice. But for this to work, I need to cut that. So I made a template, and all I did was lay out some cardboard under this, get the measurements, figure it out, and I made a... Well, let's not scratch that before I even put it on. There we go. I made this. So I took that and I drew a little pattern. So that's where it is. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm nervous as hell to take the Sawzall or the zip cut to that. I'm not going to use the Sawzall, they'll make a mess and a half, but to take the zip cut to that. I'm just so nervous to do it. But we need the air to float out of this, and I'm thinking this should be the answer. Anyways, next process is to cut these holes. After we cut the holes, then put them in, figure out how to bolt them down, screw them down, rivet them down. I'm not sure. I have threaded rivets I can put in the threads, and then you bolt into the rivets. I could just put bolts through and put little nuts on the bottom. Or I could just self-tap screw it through and then cut off the screws on the other side. So many options once it's in there. The nervous part is just cutting it and making sure I cut this one to look exactly the same as that one, so when the hood's down, they'll look the same. right? I mean, it's hard enough when you're doing certain things yourself. And with this truck, a lot of it we've done ourselves. Now, kudos to Emily at the Little Odd Shop, who is my daughter. They do all my vinyls. And we just finally added the saying from a song on the back of this, which I absolutely love. The only thing is, I didn't get it perfectly centered. I tried my hardest, but I didn't, because each section was separate and I had to guess to get it on there. It's set so it's readable even if this is rolled up. When it's rolled down, there actually is a Spotify code that will play this actual song, which is called What the Truck. But anyways, that is what it is. So we're actually going to add an exclamation mark, remove those quotes, put an exclamation mark and the quotes in, which will balance it out to look almost level across the back. It's the best I could do. I'm not pulling it all off and getting her to redo them. We'll just go with what we got. Nice and clean. So what's going to happen is not in the center section, but actually out here is where those holes are going to end up being. So right before this little crease, it's going to run right along it, about almost middle length, right in there on both sides, which is going to make it a little easier to line up because there's already a pre-drawn line. One on that side, one way over here, so that the air, when it hits, it'll have somewhere to dissipate. Also, it keeps it down far enough, hopefully that air will not end up right back into my airbox and into my vehicle if I'm lucky. We'll see. But this is all because when I'm sitting idling, it gets too hot. When I'm driving, it's fine. But when I'm sitting, it's just too much heat. And like I say, I tried putting my hands just on the fender up here. After it was done, I went and I leaned on here. Yeah, it was red hot right here. So that's not a good thing. The hood was hot. We're going to change that. Okay, fire prevention, spark prevention so I don't ruin my new windshield. And now we are going to try and cut, well, I'm going to try and cut this slot out to get a vent in. Wish me luck. I am so nervous about this. Well, there's a piece of mousse. And now we got a hole. Now I got the perfect line up here, which I wanted, right along that edge. And I've got to just do the corners just a little bit so it fits down all the way. But yep, that's what it's going to look like. So there we have it. There's that one. And there's that one. Now nicely installed into it. Now, these have two-sided tape on them. I am going to actually rivet them in because I want them to stay put. Because this is going to get awfully hot. That two-sided tape is going to let go and let go. Not only to mention, I've unburied the two-sided tape here and it doesn't even do anything. This is the only line that's holding it. So we are going to put actually plastic rivets in here, along here and then back here. I think I'm just going to try 4 to start with, and just to keep it down and keep it so it won't pop off when it gets hot. It won't lift. And yeah, hopefully those help us out. And if they mess up, then that's going to be fun. We'll have to figure something else out to build and maybe put a metal one on top with fins upwards or something, build our own. But we're starting with these and see how it goes from there. Well, there we go. The vents have clips in them to hold them down. They're not going anywhere now, which is good. I'm not exactly fond of these. I've got little tabs here I'm going to have to cut down because of the length I had to use, etc. They do work. They don't look exactly the prettiest on it. I'm going to see if I can't touch them up. But they're on. They're there. They're not going anywhere. That's what we needed. This is a trail truck. I do like it looking nice for car shows, but you know, you can only do so much. So maybe some gloss black paint on these, they'll look better. We'll see what happens, but at least I know it's not gonna just blow off when I'm driving down the road. So they're both done, and it's now finished. So that's it for the vents. They're in. Hopefully they help. We'll see in the very near future, and we'll be having this up and running and out of the garage very shortly. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.